The land abandoned by the gods was a deeply unsettling and extremely dangerous place. Lizzie and the others began to secretly trail Qinfang. She did not know why she had ended up here, but with years of online gaming experience, she quickly formed a party. However, the first monster they encountered outside the town completely wiped them out. She knew that this monster was not an enemy a level 1 player could defeat. Lizzie's friends were furious since Qinfang's initial weapon was different from the group's assassin. He carried a dagger, but Qinfang had a short blade. The assassin felt jealous since Qinfang was even faster than him. As an assassin, agility should have been his strongest attribute. Besides that, Qinfang's clothing was unlike his own. Qinfang appeared to be an abnormal player, so Lizzie decided to follow him, believing he might lead to valuable information. Qinfang suddenly began watching them, and sensing this, Lizzie quickly hid again, unsure whether they had been noticed. Qinfang used the shadow sneak technique and disappeared without leaving a trace, turning into a shadow. Lizzie and the others were confused, watching him vanish into thin air. The group's assassin realized this was a stealth skill, an initial ability that granted invisibility. Qinfang had become invisible. Lizzie decided to return to town and search for ways to strengthen themselves. It was far too dangerous to go outside. They had already died once and their lifespan had been cut in half, so they chose to look for NPCs in hopes of obtaining hidden rewards like treasure chests. Shadow Sneak was a skill that allowed the user to enter stealth for a limited duration. Attacking would reveal the user, and the first hit after breaking stealth dealt bonus damage. Stealth Mastery doubled the duration of stealth and increased the stealth level by 1. As expected, the Shadow class was exceptional. At this stage, a normal assassin's stealth would be easily detected, but the Shadow class possessed its own stealth mastery, making it impossible for anyone, even monsters, to detect Qinfang in the early game. Qinfang couldn't help but think that Lizzie and her friends were naive, since the beginner town had nothing that could truly increase strength. It was merely a safe shelter. In this forsaken game, weak players were nothing more than prey. A few seconds later, Qinfang's stealth ended. For now, the duration wasn't very long, but fortunately, the cooldown started the moment stealth was activated. In just a few more seconds, he could disappear again. Qinfang's status window appeared. His codename was Shadow and his class was also Shadow. He had 75 years of non-tradable lifespan and 0 tradable lifespan. His strength was 13, constitution 13, agility 18, and spirit 15. All players began with base stats of 10, and each class granted additional bonuses. In his past life, the warrior class only gave him 3 extra points in strength and constitution. This time, however, the shadow class improved all attributes, with agility increasing by 8 points. He still had 5 free attribute points. Most players invest points into strength or spirit to increase physical or magical attack, but that was a serious mistake. Without hesitation, Qinfang assigned all 5 points to agility, raising it to 23. This stat was crucial, because in the early game, monsters always dealt overwhelming damage, and the only way to kill them without being hit was to maximize speed through agility. Then something caught his attention. A monster was hiding behind a tree. It was a level 1 crawler of normal grade, but it was evolving. Qinfang became alert. Noticing it was continuously absorbing lifespan, he quickly realized this was the monster that had slaughtered the 4-player group earlier. The crawler sensed Qinfang's presence. It was slightly injured, having lost part of its HP. The monster attacked, but Qinfang dodged with a leap. When monsters killed players, they absorbed lifespan, and once enough was gathered, they could evolve. Qinfang activated Shadow Sneak and unsheathed his short blade. Just before the crawler could approach, he vanished into the air. As the crawler searched for him, Qinfang appeared from above, using Stealth Break Strike to stab his blade straight into its head, dealing 174 damage, killing it instantly and gaining 10 experience points. He hadn't expected to kill it in one hit, but then remembered that striking a crawler's nape triggered a critical hit. A system window appeared, explaining that the skill Backstab doubled damage when attacking from outside an enemy's vision. This explained the instant kill. Backstab had stacked with multiple abilities, creating a terrifying damage multiplier. Qinfang stared silently at the corpse. When he played as a warrior in his past life, even a critical hit barely dealt 40 damage, and he had fought for ages just to kill a crawler, nearly dying each time. After the monster died, it dropped a glowing orb, which represented lifespan. Qinfang absorbed it, gaining 3 days of tradable lifespan and 54 years and 155 days of non-tradable lifespan. 5 players had died, each losing 20 to 30 years, totaling over 100 years. but since the crawler absorbed most of it first, Kim Fang only obtained 54 years. For now, non-tradable lifespan was useless. At that moment, the authority of the Eye of Judgment activated, granting Kim Fang the talent Infinite Evolution. By killing monsters solo, he could earn evolution points to upgrade skills. Every 24 hours, he gained 5 evolution points, and defeating a boss alone guaranteed additional points. He currently had 5. Infinite Evolution allowed him to continuously enhance his abilities. In his past life, he had never heard of anything like this. Equipment and skill books had fixed grades, with no way to improve them. This was a power that exceeded rules and order. Kim Fang decided to test it. He upgraded Shadow Sneak and Backstab, spending 4 evolution points. Shadow Sneak advanced from normal to bronze, increasing duration from 12 to 16 seconds, raising stealth break damage from 60 to 90, and reducing cooldown by 2 seconds. Backstab advanced from inferior to normal, increasing damage by 5%. With Stealth Mastery, Shadow Sneak now lasted 32 seconds, allowing Kim Fang to remain invisible almost permanently. If these upgrades had been available earlier, he could have killed a full HP crawler in one strike. Just then, a boy accompanied by a woman mocked that the game was easy, since even someone like Kim Fang had killed a monster alone. The woman praised him, believing his physique could handle 10 people. The boy smiled and promised to protect her. Kim Fang noticed a monster hiding in the tree. The boy confidently asked if Kim Fang wanted to team up, but sensing danger, Kim Fang vanished with Shadow Sneak. The boy assumed his muscles had intimidated him. A spider descended, causing them to panic. It was a level 1 bronze grade boss, the Nurturer, which immediately killed them. Kim Fang remembered that the Nurturer was a beginner boss with 1600 health, far beyond what rookies could handle, especially with its swarm of spiders. As the Nurturer fed, Kim Fang tested his upgraded abilities. Using Stealth Break Strike, he stabbed its eye, dealing 338 damage, while receiving 9 damage in return. Thanks to his agility, he barely escaped. Kim Fang had 130 health, and a direct hit would have killed him instantly. He was impressed that he dealt over 300 damage. Enraged, the spider shattered trees around it, searching for him. Knowing the monster was intelligent, Kim Fang waited, throwing rocks while stealth bonuses applied. Each hit dealt nearly 300 damage. Once Shadow Sneak cooled down, he struck again. Eventually, the system announced that Shadow had killed the bronze grade boss Nurturer, becoming the first player to reach level 2, ranking number 1. The town erupted in shock. Lizzie and the others were speechless. The earlier couple revived in town, realizing Shadow was the boy they had seen. Back in the forest, the system confirmed the kill, awarding 300 experience points, 2 evolution points, and unlocking Shell Town's leaderboard, granting 1 reputation point. Kim Fang absorbed the spider's lifespan, gaining 46 tradable lifespan, a bronze quality skill book, Greedy Hand, and a corrosive dagger with 35 damage and 4 agility points. After learning the skill Greedy Hand, Kim Fang could use it on defeated monsters, granting a 20% chance to obtain an additional loot reward. Kim Fang was somewhat surprised as he did not expect a bronze boss to drop this god tier assassin skill. This skill significantly increased loot acquisition in the late game. Defeating powerful bosses would have a 20% chance of producing extra loot. According to what Kim Fang remembered from his past life, there was a guy in the Godslayer guild who had average combat strength. But just because he had this skill, he became one of the most sought after players. He even had a personal bodyguard who escorted him everywhere. Kim Fang's eyes widened in surprise, realizing that although the activation rate was only 20%, if he combined it with his infinite evolution talent, he would be able to infinitely increase both the drop rate and the amount of loot.